Hey guys, welcome to my channel. You know this is your girl, the chosen Tony, and I hope you will love it here. Trust me, you invite your friends out to like, share, and subscribe. See you guys on Tuesday, March 10, 2020. Jamaica has announced its first case in COVID-19. But what does this mean for us Jamaicans? Our Prime Minister, Honorable Andrew Holness, our Minister, Dr. Christopher Tufton, our Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Jacqueline Besore Mackenzie, along with other government workers, have been working tremendously to reduce the spread of COVID-19. But is our citizens adhering to some of the measures being implemented by our government? Let us find out. Closing all schools on Friday, March 13, 2020 was one of the most drastic decisions to taken in such a time like this. What does this mean for our education system? The government did not just left us like that. On Mondays to Friday on Television Jamaica, heard a program called School Not Out. This is to facilitate learning from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. for students who are doing City and Guilds and CSEC. Other measures are online learning platform for students to go and get additional information while homeschooling. As our government worked tremendously in reducing the spread of COVID-19, they have implemented some measures that we Jamaican citizens should adhere to. Declaring all schools closed from Friday, March 13, 2020 was one of the first measures put into place to reduce the spread of COVID-19. Another measure was the quarantine and the isolation process. Quarantine is placing a community or a person under observation who have recently come into contact with an infected person. The community of Bull Bay and Corn Peace was recently quarantined for 2 weeks to reduce the spread of COVID-19 and for further investigation by the public health inspectors along with other health personnel. This is to reduce the spread of COVID-19 and movements of persons who have come into contact with an infected person. Another measure implemented by our government is declaring the Coronation Market and the downtown area closed for proper sanitization. This was to facilitate a cleaner and safer, cleaner and proper environment for selling and buying, as well as to reduce the spread of COVID-19. On Saturday, March 21st, 2020, our government declared all borders, seaports, and airway closed to all incoming passengers. This is to reduce the number of imported cases and the spread of COVID-19 in our country. Let us all work to reduce the spread of COVID-19. Another measure implemented by our government is the nightly curfew, which was implemented from April 1st to April 8, 2020. The curfew begins at 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning. This was to facilitate the movement and public gathering of all citizens of Jamaica. Let us all work to reduce the spread of COVID-19 and let us. During a global pandemic, one of the cheapest, easiest, and most important ways to prevent the spread of a virus is to wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Here is everything you need to know about how to wash your hands the right way. How do I wash my hands properly, you may ask? To eliminate all traces of the virus on your hands, a quick scrub and a rinse won't cut it. Below is a step-by-step process for effective washing of hands. Here are a few steps of how to wash your hands properly. Wet hands with running water. Step 2. Apply enough soap to cover wet hands. Step 3. Scrub all surfaces of the hand, including back of the hands, between the fingers, and on the nails for at least 20 seconds. Yes, you heard me right, 20 seconds. Step 4. Rinse thoroughly with running water. Step 5. Dry hands with a clean cloth or single-use tissue and dispose of that tissue in a dustbin. Wearing masks when you are going out is another measure. Wear a mask to cover mouth and nose when going out in the public. Don't just wear the mask under the chin for fashion or below the nose to cover mouth and chin, but wear the mask to cover both mouth and chin. But wear the mask to cover both mouth and nose. And remember, use hand soap to wash hands frequently and sanitizer to sanitize your hands during and after a task and before a task. Sanitize as you go to reduce the spread of COVID-19 and bring back our Jamaica to a better and safer place. Better and safer place.